I'm standing in my mother's kitchen at 6 a.m., arranging white roses in crystal vases, when I realise I've been holding my breath for the past 20 years. My name is Hayley, and today is the day I've been dreading for months, my mother's 70th birthday party. The kind of elaborate celebration that requires 3 months of planning, 200 RSVPs, and apparently one daughter who's forgotten how to exist outside of her mother's shadow. Hayley! Mum's voice cuts through the morning quiet like a fire alarm. The caterers will be here in 4 hours and you haven't even started on the centerpieces. I glance at the 12 perfectly arranged bouquets surrounding me. Already done, Mum. She appears in the doorway wearing her silk robe, the one that costs more than most people's rent. At 70, Deborah still commands a room with the precision of the school administrator she used to be. Every silver hair in place, every word calculated for maximum impact. Those roses are too tall, people won't be able to see each other across the table. I trim 2 inches off each stem without arguing. I learned years ago that resistance only prolongs the inevitable. Where's your brother? Jasper said he'd be here by 10. He better not be late, not today. She examines my work with the intensity of a health inspector. Did you remember to call Mrs. Patterson about her dietary restrictions? Called yesterday. She's bringing her own gluten-free rolls. And the photographer? Confirmed for 2 o'clock. The wine selection? Delivered and chilling. She nods curtly and disappears back upstairs. I return to my checklist, a 3-page colour-coded document that would make a wedding planner weep. Every detail mapped out, every contingency planned for, every possible disaster prevented. This is what I do. This is what I've always done. My phone buzzes, a text from my college friend Danielle. Hope the party goes well today, can't wait to hear how it turns out. I almost laugh. If only she knew. By noon the house is transformed. Elegant table settings, soft jazz playing, and enough food to feed a small army. Guests begin arriving, and I slip into my role as the invisible orchestrator, refilling drinks, directing traffic, making sure everything runs smoothly while Mum holds court in the living room. Hayley, dear, you've outdone yourself, says Ronald, one of Mum's oldest friends. This is absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I'm just glad everything came together. Your mother is lucky to have such a devoted daughter. I smile and excuse myself to check on the kitchen. Devoted, that's one word for it. At 12:47 p.m, Jasper finally arrives. My younger brother strolls through the front door like he's walking a red carpet, all charm and perfect teeth. His tan is fresh from whatever tropical vacation he just returned from, and his designer shirt probably costs more than I spend on groceries in a month. "Sorry I'm late," he announces to the room. "Traffic was insane." Mum's face lights up like Christmas morning. "Jasper, oh sweetheart, you look wonderful. How was Cabo?" "Amazing. You would have loved it, Mum. The sunsets were incredible." I watch from the kitchen doorway as she fusses over him, straightening his collar, beaming with pride. Several guests gather around to hear about his trip, his new business venture, his latest adventures. The golden child has arrived, and suddenly I'm background noise. "Hayley," Mum calls without looking at me, "bring Jasper a drink. He likes that imported beer." I retrieve the beer from the fridge and hand it to him. He takes it without acknowledgement, too busy entertaining his audience with stories about deep-sea fishing and 5-star restaurants. The afternoon passes in a blur of small talk and forced smiles. I manage the gift table, coordinate the meal service, and ensure every guest feels welcomed and fed. Mum glows in the attention, playing the role of beloved matriarch to perfection. As the sun begins to set, Ronald stands and taps his wineglass. I'd like to propose a toast to our dear Deborah on this milestone birthday. The room falls quiet. Mum rises gracefully, her smile radiant. "Thank you all for being here," she begins. 70 years is quite a journey, and I'm grateful for the love and support of my family and friends. She pauses, her eyes scanning the room before landing on me. "But tonight I have an important announcement to make. After much consideration, I've decided it's time for some changes in my life." My stomach drops. Something in her tone feels wrong. I'm relieving my daughter Hayley of her caregiving duties. Her negative energy has become too much of a burden, and I think it's best for everyone if Jasper takes over as my primary support. The room goes dead silent. Every eye turns to me, and for the first time in 20 years, I smile. The silence stretches like a rubber band about to snap. I can feel every pair of eyes in the room boring into me, waiting for tears, for protests, for some kind of breakdown. Instead, I set down my wine glass and walk toward the front door. "Hayley, where are you going?" Mum's voice has lost its confident edge. "To get something from my car. I'll be right back." The cool evening air hits my face as I step outside. My hands are steady as I unlock my Honda and pop the trunk. There it is, waiting like a faithful friend, a 3-inch black binder with Deborah Holmes' care manual printed on the spine in my neat handwriting. I've been updating this thing for 5 years. Every doctor's appointment, every medication change, every preference, every routine, every single detail of my mother's increasingly complex life. All documented with the precision of a medical textbook. When I walk back into the house, the guests are still frozen in their seats. Mum is standing by the mantel, her face pale. Jasper looks like he's been hit by a truck. "Here we go," I say cheerfully, holding up the binder. "Jasper, congratulations on your promotion." I walk over and place it in his hands. The weight of it makes him stumble slightly. "What is this?" he asks. "Everything you need to know about taking care of Mom. Her medical history, current medications, doctor contact information, insurance details, daily routines, dietary restrictions, preferred pharmacy, emergency protocols. It's all in there." Jasper flips through a few pages, his eyes widening. This is huge. 347 pages to be exact, colour-coded tabs for easy reference. Mum steps forward. "Hayley, this is unnecessary. Jasper doesn't need—" "Oh, but he does," I interrupt, my voice still bright and pleasant. "You just appointed him as your primary caregiver. He'll need to know that you take your blood pressure medication at 7 a.m. with food, never on an empty stomach. And your insulin needs to be rotated between injection sites to prevent tissue damage." Jasper's face goes white. "Insulin?" "Page 43, there's a chart showing the rotation schedule. You'll also find the contact information for Dr. Martinez, her endocrinologist. She has appointments every 6 weeks. "I don't know anything about diabetes management," Jasper whispers. "Well, you'll learn, just like I did." I turn to address the room. There's also a section on her physical therapy schedule, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. The transportation service needs 48 hours notice for cancellations, or they charge a fee. Ronald clears his throat. "Perhaps we should discuss this privately." "No need," I say. "This is what Mum wanted. Jasper is clearly the better choice. He's so responsible and reliable." Mum's friend Margaret shifts uncomfortably. "Deborah, maybe you should reconsider." "The decision is made," Mum says, but her voice wavers. I continue as if she hadn't spoken. "Jasper, you'll find the grocery lists in section 5. Mum needs her produce picked up every Tuesday from the organic market. They know her preferences, and her prescriptions are filled at the pharmacy on Elm Street. They deliver, but you have to call by noon." "Hayley, stop," Jasper says. "Oh, I'm just getting started. There's also the housekeeping schedule, the lawn service coordination, the monthly financial reviews with her accountant, the insurance paperwork that needs to be filed quarterly." "I can't do all this," Jasper blurts out. The room falls silent again. Mum's carefully constructed image begins to crack. "Of course you can," I say sweetly. "You're the golden child, remember? The successful one, the one with all the answers." "But I have my own life, my own business." "So did I. Had. Past tense." I smile at him. "But that's what family sacrifice looks like, right, Mum?" Mum's mouth opens and closes like a fish. For the first time in my adult life, she has nothing to say. "There's also a section on her social calendar," I continue. "Book club every other Wednesday, bridge on Fridays, and she likes to attend the 10 a.m. service at St. Mark's every Sunday. She'll need a ride since she doesn't drive anymore. Since when doesn't she drive? Jasper asks. Since her vision started declining 6 months ago. It's all documented in Section 2, along with her upcoming eye surgery consultation. Several guests begin gathering their purses and coats. The party atmosphere has completely evaporated. Well, I say, clapping my hands together, I think my work here is done. Jasper, you have my number if you need anything. Oh wait, no you don't. I'll be changing it. I head toward the door, then pause and turn back. Happy birthday, Mum. I hope this is everything you wanted. As I reach for the door handle, Jasper's voice cracks behind me. Wait, how do I... But I'm already outside, walking to my car with the first genuine smile I've worn in years. The Airbnb is a tiny cottage 20 minutes outside town, tucked between pine trees and far enough away that I can't accidentally run into anyone I know. I book it for a week, then extend it to a month. The owner, a sweet elderly woman named Grace, doesn't ask questions when I show up with nothing but a duffel bag and a haunted expression. Take all the time you need, dear, she says, handing me the keys. Sometimes we all need to disappear for a while. The first thing I do is turn off my phone, not silent, completely off. The relief is immediate, like setting down a weight I didn't realise I was carrying. For 3 days, I do absolutely nothing. I sleep until noon, eat cereal for dinner, and sit on the tiny porch watching squirrels. No schedules, no medications to track, no one demanding my attention. The silence is so profound, it makes my ears ring. On day 4, I finally turn my phone back on. 47 missed calls, 63 text messages, 12 voicemails. I delete everything without reading or listening. Then I block both Mum and Jasper's numbers. But I do call Danielle. Holy shit, Hayley, I've been worried sick. Your mum called me looking for you. She what? Yesterday, said you'd had some kind of breakdown and disappeared. She wanted to know if I'd heard from you. I laugh, and it sounds rusty from disuse. A breakdown, that's rich. What really happened? I tell her everything. The party, the announcement, the binder, my dramatic exit. Danielle listens without interrupting, occasionally making small gasps of disbelief. Jesus Christ, she says when I finish, your family is insane. I'm starting to realise that. Good for you for walking away. Seriously, I've been watching you disappear into that role for years. Have I really been that obvious? Honey, you haven't been yourself since college. Remember when you wanted to be an artist? When you talked about travelling to Europe and taking that pottery class in Tuscany? I'd forgotten about Tuscany, about a lot of things actually. There's an art retreat in Maine, Danielle continues. My friend runs it. Small groups, beautiful location, no pressure. You should go. I can't just... Yes, you can, that's the point. You can do whatever you want now. After we hang up, I sit on the porch with a cup of coffee and actually consider it. When was the last time I did something just for me? When was the last time I made a decision without considering how it would affect Mum's schedule or Jasper's convenience? My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. This is Jasper. I got a new phone. Please call me. This is an emergency. I block the number and make myself a sandwich. The next morning, another unknown number. Hayley, it's me. Mum fell. I don't know what to do. The binder doesn't make sense. Please. Block. 2 hours later. I can't find her insurance cards. Where do you keep everything? She's screaming at me. Block. By evening. I'm begging you, I'll pay you. Just come back for 1 day and show me how to do this. Block. I'm starting to enjoy this game. On day 7, my phone rings with a number I don't recognise, but the area code is from 3 states away. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Is this Hayley? Yes, who is this? This is your Aunt Hazel, Deborah's sister. I nearly dropped the phone. I haven't spoken to Hazel in over 15 years. Mum always said she was unstable and not someone we associate with. I heard what happened at the party, Hazel continues. Ronald called me. He was appalled by your mother's behaviour. You talked to Ronald? We've stayed in touch over the years. He's been keeping me updated on the family situation. He's worried about you. I'm fine, better than fine, actually. I'm sure you are, but I think we should talk. There are things about your mother, about our family, that you don't know. Things that might help you understand why she is the way she is. I don't need to understand her. I'm done trying to figure her out. This isn't about understanding her, honey. This is about understanding yourself, about breaking a cycle that's been going on for generations. Something in her voice makes me pause. What kind of cycle? The kind that turns daughters into servants and sons into princes. The kind that makes women disappear into other people's needs until they forget they ever existed. I'm quiet for a long moment, watching a cardinal land on the porch railing. "Where are you?" I finally ask. "About 4 hours north of you. I could drive down this weekend if you're willing to meet." I don't know if I'm ready for family drama right now. This isn't drama, Hayley. This is truth, and I think you've been living without it for long enough. After I hang up, I sit in the growing darkness and realise I'm curious. For the first time in years, I want to know something that has nothing to do with managing someone else's life. I text Hazel back, "Saturday at 2 p.m, I'll send you the address." Then I pour myself a glass of wine and toast to whatever comes next. Hazel arrives in a beat-up Honda with Colorado plates and a bumper sticker that reads, "Well-behaved women seldom make history." She's smaller than I expected, with silver hair in a messy bun and laugh lines that Mum never developed. When she hugs me, she smells like lavender and coffee. "You look just like your father," she says, holding me at arm's length. Same eyes, same stubborn chin. We settle on the cottage porch with iced tea. Hazel pulls out a worn photo album and sets it between us. "I brought pictures, figured you might want to see what Deborah was like before she became your mother." The first photo shows 2 young girls in matching dresses. The taller one has her arm around the smaller one's shoulders, both smiling genuinely at the camera. That's us at ages 12 and 10. I was the baby, she was the responsible one. Sound familiar? I study the photo. Young Deborah looks happy, carefree even. Nothing like the woman who raised me. What happened to her? Our mother happened. Grandma Ruth was, well, she made Deborah look like a saint. Everything had to be perfect. Everything had to be controlled. Deborah learned early that love was conditional on performance. Hazel flips to another photo, a family portrait with a stern-looking woman in the centre. Ruth pitted us against each other constantly. Deborah was the good daughter who followed rules. I was the problem child who asked too many questions. When I turned 18, I got out, left for college and barely looked back. Mum always said you were unstable. I'm sure she did. That's what Ruth used to say about anyone who didn't fall in line. Hazel's voice hardens. But I wasn't unstable. I was free. She shows me more photos. Deborah's wedding, my birth, family gatherings I barely remember. In every picture, Mum looks increasingly rigid, increasingly controlled. Your father tried to balance her out, Hazel continues. David was gentle, creative. He wanted to travel, to show you the world, but Deborah needed everything predictable, manageable. I barely remember him. You were only 8 when he died, but he adored you, used to call you his little artist because you were always drawing. She pulls out a sketch, a child's drawing of a house with flowers. He kept this in his wallet. My throat tightens. I'd forgotten I used to draw. After David died, Deborah got worse. She needed to control everything because she couldn't control losing him, and you became her project. What about Jasper? Jasper was born after David died. Deborah poured all her dreams for the perfect child into him. He could do no wrong because he represented her fresh start. You represented her loss. The pieces click into place with sickening clarity. So I became the caregiver, and he became the golden child. Exactly. Same pattern Ruth used with us, just with different roles. Hazel closes the album. But here's what Deborah doesn't know. David left you something. A trust fund, some investments, even a small property upstate. It was supposed to be yours when you turned 25. What? I never got anything. Because Deborah was the executor. She convinced the lawyers you were too unstable to handle money, said you had emotional problems and needed her to manage your inheritance. My hands shake as I set down my tea. How much money are we talking about? About 200,000 plus the property, maybe more now with interest and appreciation. $200,000. I repeat it like a foreign phrase. David wanted you to be independent. He knew what Deborah was like, how she tried to keep you trapped. This was his way of making sure you could escape. Can I still claim it? With the right lawyer, absolutely, especially now that you're clearly not the unstable one in this family. Hazel smiles grimly. I've been documenting Deborah's behaviour for years, staying in touch with family friends. Ronald's been particularly helpful. Ronald's been talking to you about Mom? For over a decade, he's watched her destroy relationship after relationship, drive away friends, isolate herself. He's been worried about you for years. I stand up and pace the small porch. She stole from me. For 13 years she stole from me. She stole more than money, honey. She stole your identity, your dreams, your sense of self-worth. But it's not too late to take it back. How? Hazel reaches into her purse and pulls out a business card. This is my lawyer in Denver. She specializes in estate disputes and family financial abuse. I already talked to her about your situation. You did? I've been waiting for this day for years, waiting for you to be ready to fight back. She stands and hugs me again. Your father would be so proud of you for walking away from that party, for finally choosing yourself. After Hazel leaves, I sit alone with the photo album and the lawyer's business card. The child's drawing of the house with flowers stares back at me, evidence of a person I used to be, before I learned that my worth was measured in how well I served others. I pick up my phone and dial the number on the card. This is attorney Sarah Martinez. How can I help you? My name is Haley. I think my mother stole my inheritance, and I want it back. 3 weeks into my new life, my phone rings from yet another unknown number. I've gotten good at blocking Jasper's attempts to reach me, but this time I'm curious enough to answer. Haley? The voice is strained, desperate. Please don't hang up. How did you get this number, Jasper? I borrowed someone's phone. Listen, I need help. I can't do this anymore. Do what? Any of it, Mum's impossible. She screams at me constantly. Nothing I do is right, and I can't figure out that stupid binder. Yesterday she had some kind of episode and I didn't know what to do. I pour myself coffee and settle into the porch chair. What kind of episode? Her blood sugar dropped or something. She was shaking and confused. I called 911 and she was furious at me for embarrassing her in front of the neighbours. Page 67 has the emergency glucose protocol. I looked. It doesn't make sense. There are charts and numbers and I don't understand any of it. It's not rocket science, Jasper. You check her blood sugar, give her juice if it's low, call the doctor if it doesn't improve. But what if I do it wrong? What if something happens to her? The panic in his voice is almost satisfying. Almost? Welcome to the last 20 years of my life, I say calmly. This isn't fair. I have my own business to run, my own life. Had. Past tense. What? You had your own life. Now you're a caregiver. That's what family sacrifice looks like, remember? There's a long pause. I can't keep doing this. She needs professional help, maybe a nursing home. Good luck convincing her of that. You could help me convince her. She'd listen to you. I laugh out loud. She fired me, Jasper, publicly, in front of 50 people, said I was a burden with negative energy. She didn't mean it. She was just, you know how she gets. No, I don't know how she gets anymore. That's your job now. Haley, please, I'm drowning here. The house is falling apart, the bills are piling up, and I think we're behind on the mortgage. The mortgage. She keeps getting these notices from the bank. I tried to call them, but they want to talk to her, and she just screams about privacy and hangs up. This is news to me. How behind are we talking? I don't know. 3 months? Maybe 4? The notices are all mixed up with her other mail, and I can't make sense of any of it. Check the filing cabinet in her office. Everything should be organised by category. I did. It's chaos. Papers everywhere, nothing filed properly. I think she's been letting things slide for months. The coffee turns bitter in my mouth. What about her finances, the checking account, savings? That's the other problem. I can't access any of it. She won't give me the passwords or account numbers. Says I'm too irresponsible. So how are you paying for groceries, medications? I've been using my own money. My savings are almost gone. The irony is delicious. The golden child is broke. Don't be cruel, Hayley. I'm trying to help her. Are you? Or are you trying to help yourself? Another pause. What do you mean? I mean, you've been living off Mom's generosity for years. The vacations, the business loans, the rent money when your ventures failed. Now you're stuck actually taking care of her instead of just taking from her. That's not... I never... Jasper, I know about the money. I've always known. His breathing gets shallow. What money? The 20,000 she gave you last year for your investment opportunity. The 15,000 before that for your car. The monthly payments she's been making on your credit cards. She offered. I never asked. You never said no either. This is different. This is about her health, her safety. This is about you realizing that being the favourite comes with a price tag you can't afford. I can't do this alone. Then hire help. Use some of that money you borrowed from her. I told you, I'm broke, and she won't let strangers in the house. Sounds like a you problem. Hayley, she's our mother. Doesn't that mean anything to you? The question hangs in the air. A month ago it would have sent me running back to fix everything. Now it just sounds hollow. She stopped being my mother the night she fired me. You wanted the job, you got it. Figure it out. Wait, don't. I hang up and immediately block the number. Then I call Attorney Martinez. Sarah, it's Hayley. I need to move faster on the inheritance claim, and I think we need to look into financial elder abuse. What kind of abuse? The kind where the golden child has been bleeding Mom dry for years, and now that he's supposed to take care of her, there's nothing left. That's a serious allegation. Do you have proof? I have 20 years of watching it happen, and I think I know where to find the evidence. After I hang up, I sit in the afternoon sun and realise something has shifted. I'm not just walking away anymore. I'm walking towards something. And Jasper's about to find out what happens when the safety net disappears. The call comes from Danielle at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. Have you seen Facebook this morning? I don't really do social media anymore. Why? Ronald posted something about your mom. It's going viral in your hometown. I grab my laptop and log into my dormant Facebook account. Ronald's post has 847 shares and 312 comments. The timestamp shows he posted it at midnight. In 45 years of friendship, I have never been more disgusted by someone's behaviour. Watching a mother publicly humiliate and disown her devoted daughter at a birthday party, a daughter who sacrificed everything to care for her, was the most shameful display I've ever witnessed. Some people don't deserve the love they're given. Deborah, you should be ashamed. The comments are brutal. People I haven't thought about in years are chiming in with their own stories about Mum's behaviour, her treatment of service workers, her condescending attitude at community events. Someone shared a photo from the party, me walking out with a smile while Mum stands frozen in the background. My phone rings. Unknown number. Hayley, it's Tyrese, Jasper's friend. We need to talk. I remember Tyrese from high school. He and Jasper were inseparable until a few years ago when they had some kind of falling out. What about? About your brother, about what he's been doing to your mother's finances, and about what's going to come out very soon. I'm listening. Not over the phone. Can you meet me somewhere? This is serious. An hour later, I'm sitting across from Tyrese in a diner outside town. He looks tired, older than his 35 years, and keeps glancing around like he's expecting trouble. I should have said something years ago, he starts. But Jasper was my best friend, and I hoped he'd figure it out on his own. Figure what out? The gambling, the debts, the way he's been using your mother as his personal ATM. My coffee goes cold as he talks. Jasper's business ventures were covers for poker games and online betting. The vacations were funded by Mum's credit cards. The monthly payments weren't for his expenses. They were to keep his creditors from breaking his legs. How much does he owe? Last I heard, about 80,000, maybe more now. Jesus Christ. It gets worse. He's been forging your mother's signature on cheques, small amounts at first, but it's escalated. I think he's been doing it for over a year. That's fraud. Yeah, it is, and the people he owes money to are getting impatient. They've been calling his friends, his ex-girlfriends, anyone who might know where to find him. Why are you telling me this? Tyrese looks down at his hands. Because I heard what happened at the party, and because your mother doesn't deserve this, no matter how awful she's been to you. She's about to lose everything because of him. What do you mean, everything? The house, her savings, her retirement accounts, he's been draining them all, and now that he's supposed to be taking care of her, he's panicking. Desperate people do desperate things. My phone buzzes with a text from Attorney Martinez. Need to talk ASAP. Found irregularities in your mother's accounts. Can you call me? I have to go, I tell Tyrese. Hayley, wait, there's something else. The people Jasper owes money to. They know about your mother's house, her assets. If he can't pay, they might come after her directly. What are you saying? I'm saying your mother might be in actual danger, and Jasper's too much of a coward to protect her. I drive back to the cottage in a daze and immediately call Sarah Martinez. I've been going through the financial records Hazel provided, she says without preamble. Your mother's accounts show systematic withdrawals over the past 3 years, large amounts always just under the reporting threshold. How large? We're talking about $200,000 minimum, all withdrawn by someone with access to her accounts and signature authority. Jasper. That would be my guess, but here's the thing. Some of these withdrawals happened while you were still managing her affairs. Did you ever sign anything giving him financial access? Never. I handled everything myself. Then we're looking at forgery, possibly elder financial abuse, and definitely theft. I'm filing a police report today. After I hang up, I sit in the cottage's tiny kitchen and stare at the wall. For 20 years I protected Mum from everything. Bill collectors, scammers, her own poor decisions. I organised her life, managed her health, shielded her from consequences. And while I was doing that, Jasper was robbing her blind. My phone rings again. This time it's a number I recognise, the landline at Mum's house. Hayley? Mum's voice is small, frightened. I need help. Where's Jasper? Gone. He left this morning with suitcases, said he had to go out of town for business, but... Her voice breaks. Men came to the house, scary men. They were looking for him. What did they want? Money. They said he owed them money, and if he didn't pay, they'd take it from me. They knew about the house, about my accounts. How did they know? For the first time in weeks, I feel something crack in my chest. Not enough to make me run back, but enough to make me care. Mom, listen to me carefully. Do not let anyone into the house. Do not sign anything. Do not give anyone money. Do you understand? I'm scared, Hayley. I don't know what to do. Call the police. Tell them about the men. Then call Ronald. He'll come stay with you until this gets sorted out. Will you come home? The question hangs between us like a bridge I'm not ready to cross. I'll think about it. But I already know what I'm going to do. Not for her. For me. Because watching this play out from a distance isn't enough anymore. I want a front row seat for Jasper's downfall. I drive to Mum's house for the first time in 6 weeks, but not to save her. I'm here to collect what's mine. The yard looks like a disaster zone. Newspapers scattered across the driveway, mail overflowing from the box, and the roses I used to tend are brown and dying. Through the front window, I can see boxes stacked everywhere. Ronald answers the door, looking haggard. Thank God you're here. She's been packing all morning, muttering about moving to a smaller place. The bank called. They're starting foreclosure proceedings. Where is she? Upstairs. Fair warning, she's not handling this well. I find Mum in her bedroom, surrounded by half-packed suitcases. She looks smaller somehow, fragile in a way I've never seen before. When she sees me, her face crumples. Hayley, I'm so sorry. I made a terrible mistake. Save it. I pull out a manila envelope. I'm not here for an apology. I'm here for these. I spread the legal documents across her dresser. Bank statements, withdrawal records, forged signatures, all the evidence Sarah Martinez compiled. What is this? Proof that Jasper has been stealing from you for 3 years. $200,000, Mum. He forged your signature and drained your accounts. She stares at the papers, her hands shaking. That's impossible. Jasper wouldn't. Look at the signatures. I point to a withdrawal slip. This isn't your handwriting. And this date, you were in the hospital for your knee surgery, but somehow you managed to withdraw $15,000 while under anesthesia. I don't understand. Your golden child is a gambling addict and a thief. He's been using you as his personal bank for years, while I was busy making sure you took your pills on time. Ronald appears in the doorway. The police are here. They want to talk to you about Jasper. 2 officers take Mum's statement while I sit in the corner, watching her world collapse in real time. She keeps insisting there must be some mistake, that Jasper would never hurt her, that he's just going through a difficult time. Ma'am, Officer Martinez says gently, we have security footage from your bank. Your son has been making these withdrawals for months. This is a clear case of elder financial abuse. But he's my son. He was taking care of me. He was taking care of himself, I say, with your money. After the police leave, Mum sits on her bed staring at the foreclosure notice. I don't know what to do. I can't afford this house anymore. I can't afford anything. You should have thought of that before you fired me. She looks up with desperate eyes. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Please, can you help me figure this out? I'll pay you. With what money? Jasper took it all. There has to be something left, some account he didn't find. I pull out another document, the inheritance papers Sarah filed with the court. Actually, there is something. Dad left me a trust fund when I turned 25. You've been managing it for 13 years, telling everyone I was too unstable to handle money. Her face goes white. Hayley, I can explain. $200,000 plus interest. Money that was supposed to give me independence, that Dad specifically left for me. You stole it just like Jasper stole from you. I was protecting you. You were controlling me, just like your mother controlled you, just like you tried to control everyone around you. She starts crying, ugly sobs that shake her whole body. I've lost everything. My house, my money, my son, my daughter. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Figure it out. I stand to leave, but she grabs my arm. Please don't go. I know I don't deserve your help, but I'm begging you. I'm scared, and I'm alone, and I don't know how to do any of this without you. For a moment, I see the frightened little girl in those old photos Hazel showed me, the one who learned that love was conditional, that control was safety, that showing weakness meant being abandoned. But then I remember 20 years of being invisible, of being taken for granted, of being treated like hired help instead of a daughter. You fired me, remember? You said I was a burden with negative energy. You chose Jasper over me in front of 50 people. I was wrong. Yes, you were. And now you get to live with the consequences. I walk toward the door, then turn back one last time. The inheritance papers are being processed. Dad's money will be released to me within 30 days. The house will probably be sold at auction. And Jasper? I smile coldly. Jasper's going to prison. What about me? What about you? You're 70 years old, Mom. You're not my responsibility anymore. I leave her sitting in her bedroom surrounded by boxes and broken dreams. Ronald follows me to the car. That was harsh even for you. 20 years too late, but yeah. She's going to end up in some terrible state facility. Maybe. Or maybe she'll learn to take care of herself for the first time in her life. I drive away without looking back, the inheritance papers safe in my passenger seat. In my rearview mirror, I can see Mum's house getting smaller and smaller until it disappears completely, just like I did all those years ago. But this time, I'm the one choosing to leave. The art retreat in Maine is everything Danielle promised. A converted lighthouse overlooking the Atlantic, with studios that smell like turpentine and possibility. I'm here for 2 weeks, learning to paint again, remembering what it feels like to create something beautiful instead of just managing someone else's chaos. My phone buzzes during morning coffee. A text from Hazel. Thought you'd want to know. Jasper was arrested yesterday. Fraud charges. It's all over the local news. I screenshot the news article she sends. There's Jasper in handcuffs, being led out of some seedy motel 3 states away. The headline reads, "Local man charged with elder financial abuse forgery." His mugshot shows a broken man. Hollow eyes, stubble, the golden boy shine completely gone. Good, I say out loud and mean it. My studio partner, a retired teacher named Beth, looks up from her canvas. Good news? Justice, finally. Another text from Hazel. Your inheritance cleared, money's in your account. Also, your mother's been placed in assisted living, the state facility on Maple Street. I set the phone aside and pick up my paintbrush. The canvas in front of me is a seascape. Waves crashing against rocks, wild and free and unstoppable. It's the first painting I've finished in 20 years. That evening, Danielle calls. I saw the news about Jasper. How are you feeling? Relieved, vindicated, like karma finally showed up to work. And your mum? In a state facility, probably complaining about the food and demanding to speak to the manager. Do you feel bad about it? I watch the sunset paint the ocean in shades of gold and crimson. I feel free. Good, you deserve to be free. The next morning, I'm painting on the lighthouse deck when my phone rings. Unknown number, but I recognise the area code. Hayley, this is Margaret from your mother's book club. I hope you don't mind me calling. How did you get this number? Ronald gave it to me. I wanted you to know. I visited your mother yesterday at the facility. Okay. She's different, quieter. She asked me to tell you something if I ever spoke to you. I set down my brush. What? She said she's sorry. Not the performative kind of sorry she used to do, but real sorry. She said she understands now what she put you through, what she took from you. A little late for that. She also said she's proud of you, for walking away, for choosing yourself. She said it took more courage than she ever had. The words hit harder than I expected. I grip the phone tighter. She's writing letters, Margaret continues. To you, to people she hurt over the years. The staff says she's been working on them for weeks. She doesn't expect responses. She just needed to say the words. Why are you telling me this? Because I think she's finally becoming the person she could have been all along, and I thought you should know. After Margaret hangs up, I sit on the deck for a long time, watching seagulls dive for fish. The old me would have felt guilty, would have rushed back to check on Mom, would have convinced myself that her change of heart meant I should forgive and forget. But I'm not the old me anymore. I pull out my laptop and open a new document. The title page reads, The Mother Manual, a Memoir. I start typing. I'm standing in my mother's kitchen at 6 a.m. arranging white roses in crystal vases when I realise I've been holding my breath for the past 20 years. The words flow like water, like paint, like everything I've been holding back for decades. I write about the binder, the party, the inheritance, the moment I chose myself over servitude. I write about generational trauma and golden children and the price of unconditional love. But mostly, I write about freedom. 3 days before the retreat ends, I get a final text from Hazel. Your mother's facility called. She passed away peacefully in her sleep last night. No pain. The funeral is Thursday if you want to come. I stare at the message for a long time. Then I type back, I'll send flowers. That afternoon, I finish my memoir. The last line reads, Sometimes the best revenge isn't watching them suffer. It's becoming someone they can never touch again. I save the document and close the laptop. Through the studio window, I can see the ocean stretching endlessly toward the horizon. Tomorrow I'll go home, not to Mum's house, but to my own apartment, paid for with Dad's inheritance. I'll submit my memoir to publishers, maybe teach art classes, definitely travel to Tuscany. I'll live the life I was meant to live before I learned that my worth was measured in how well I served others. The sun sets over the Atlantic, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and purples. I raise my coffee mug in a toast to the woman I used to be, the woman I've become, and the woman I'm still becoming. Here's to freedom, I say to the waves. And for the first time in 20 years, I mean it.